Hello, I'm Georgia. Welcome to Lesson 4. So this is an introduction to the preliminary B1 exam. In my previous videos, we've looked at the listening, the reading and the writing, and today we're looking at the speaking. So what do you expect when you are going to do your speaking test with Cambridge? The exam for preliminary finished in 2020, so we're going to look at the new spec exam, and by doing that we will look at the handbook for preliminary B1. The handbook is available online. I will include a link for you to download it and read it yourselves, as I will not read everything. I will just give you an introduction, and hopefully you will understand how this test is managed and what you need to do to make a good impression and to get a nice, good high score. So let's look at having a look at the handbook. Here we are, paper 4, speaking tasks. So you will see here the timing, which is 12 to 17 minutes. That's a standard test. And let's look how many parts there are. There is a part 1, which is only 2 minutes, and the interaction is between the interlocutor and the candidate. So it's you and the interlocutor. The task type is the interlocutor asks questions to each candidate in turn. So really quite simple, nothing difficult, just some questions about you. We will see some examples in a minute. Part 2 is a 3-minute long candidate extended turn. And here we will look at how you describe one colour photograph, talking for about 1 minute. And that is something that I want you to practice. So in this video today, when we finish, I would like you to go and practice using some colour photographs and just describing what you see in them. Part 3 is 4 minutes, and this time you will need to talk to another candidate. So there are usually 2 people in the exam, you and another candidate, and sometimes there are 3, depending on how the group is structured. So discussion task with visual stimulus, and we will see an example of that in a minute so that you are clear what that means. 4th task is 3 minutes. Again, you're talking to the other candidate. So it's a general conversation where you discuss likes, dislikes, experiences and opinions. Again, we will see how that works. The total is 25 marks for the 4 parts. So what I would like you to focus on here, if you look at examiners, okay, there will be 2 people in the room. That is the interlocutor, and that is the person talking to you, and the assessor, and that is the person that is listening and giving you a score for your performance. And then you've got the candidates, A and B, and here it says candidates are usually assessed in pairs unless there is an uneven number of candidates at the centre. In this case, the last session will be a group of 3. So usually there's 2, but it can be that there is a group of 3. However, this is something that when just before you do your exam, you will know, you will be told if there is 2 or 3 of you. Right, let's have a look then, shall we, at part 1. Okay, so let's have a look and let's make that a little bigger so that we can zoom that out a bit. Okay. So here is part 1. You can have a look at this example to both candidates. Good morning. Can I have your mark sheets, please? And you hand over the mark sheets to the assessor. So then the assessor will say, I'm Georgia, and this is Helen, example. So nice and simple questions. What's your name? Where do you live? Where do you come from? Thank you. What's your name? Where do you live? Where you come from? So nice and easy. Some possible questions that you need to be prepared for will be, do you work or are you a student? Do you have a job? Do you study? What do you study? What job do you do? What subject do you study? Thank you. So again, quite easy and just simple questions to start. You don't need to worry when you start, because usually the interlocutor tries to ask some really sort of easy and common questions so that the candidates can relax and feel and not feel too nervous, because we all know the feeling. We all know that feeling. We know that feeling of, it's an exam, it's an exam. We know that feeling. So we need to be relaxed, and the interlocutor will try and make